Hello, and welcome back to Hourglass episode 11, I think. I'm gonna have to double check that. I should have double checked before I hit record, but I always second guess myself once we get started. Now, we left off pretty much in just about the same place last time, only we had our buddy Husker, and we didn't have blocks in our inventory. So, let me get you caught up to speed on what's happened this week. This will be a shorter episode just because real life has kind of taken it out of me. We've had several things going on. I haven't had as much time to play on the server as I would like, and to be honest, this island is probably the most difficult thematic and stylistically, so it's challenging to get everybody like excited, I think, and like everybody else's IRL is it's a busy time. So you will notice a couple things have changed. The top of the island is done and it's now connected to the bottom. Thanks to Corgis helped us out with this. Vault did all of the blue texture up here. Made that like more better than just straight stone. And what I helped with was on this side, you can see all of these, like, we're just gonna call them cliffs. I don't know what else to call them. They're kind of flat right now, but once we know what the builds are that's going to go around them, we're going to be able to dress them up a little bit. But I mostly just kept them straight so that we would know where the platforms were going. And then once we get a little bit further into the building phase, we're going to bring the what should I say? This stuff? This stuff? How do I call this? The bottom part of the island we're gonna bring up and kind of make because like right now you can see this lip around here. We're going to make something that looks much more like this side. This is a good example. It's going to come up and around, and it's going to hold a body of water on these top parts of the island. So the top part of the island and underneath, everywhere you see the prismarine is all going to get flooded. That'll probably be one of the last things we do in the island. Is to flood all these things. And so what we're doing now, what Vault's done an amazing job of so far for us, is he has started this Aqueduct Pattern, and we're using the same pattern that Bo and Vert started over here. So the top level is going to be water, is going to be the aqueduct, all along this top up here. So we're going to flood this when it's all completed. And then this bottom part down here is actually just going to be like a dry walkway. So Vault's been working so hard on this, and I want to say a huge thank you because I know it's a hard thing to take somebody else's vision, which Bo and Vert designed the aqueduct system. It's hard to take someone else's vision, combine it with another person's plan. I marked out the paths and decided on the height that I kind of wanted it, and then to start putting the pieces together. So it takes somebody who is very adaptable. And I really, really, really appreciate that Vault is driving us forward. So you'll notice that there's several areas out here that are not planned out yet, which is the next thing that I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish laying out the remaining aqueducts, and also, as you notice, that line over there gets really wonky. Which is what I wanted to bring you back for, is because we wanted to put some curves in the aqueducts in some places. And so while Vault was able to do this off of my marking, I just marked the orange, the lines for where to connect and which direction to go. The arches, or not the arches, the curves, get a little bit tricky. So you'll see the pattern over there, probably the best. There's a 5-block total, so a 7-block technically. There's a stair, a pillar, a stair, a empty space, a stair, a pillar, and a stair. So this section here, so there's 3 blocks of space in between, and then it's going to get little feet on it, basically, the stairs, and then there's an empty space in the middle. But when you get to where you're trying to like turn it, it gets a little funny here. So we're going to, Zelda's going to figure this out if we're going to be able to do curves. I really, really, really hope that I'm smart enough to figure out how to do some curved sections. But the other tricky thing to consider is that this deep slate here is a directional block. So like I have to be careful when I'm doing something like this. I'm gonna have to decide if I want the corners to be like a pattern like that that'll hide where we transition from this straight side to this straight side, or if I want to make them all facing one way. I'm not sure. I think this is gonna be the way. We're gonna do unofficial herringbone pattern. To make it kind of like zigzag, to kind of hide the rough edges. And then the plan is to keep a minimum of 3 block distance to make sure it doesn't get like pinched off or like too narrow if we're taking boats through it. So I think the weirdest part is going to be at this curve here, because it might get a little bit wider. Not sure, in order to hold the curve. So I will bring you guys back. Hopefully that's a good enough explanation about what we're doing here, because I know I've been up in the air before and talked about what the different markings are. So now you can see it start to come to life, and this is exactly what we're going to be going for to connect all the builds. And then the red markings are the builds. So I've got to finish laying in the aqueduct plan for this east side, because I got to this little square build here and then we were out of time a couple nights ago. But like this side we've got to plan some more aqueducts for, and I want to figure out how to do those rounded paths. And then I will bring you guys back in for another update. But like I mentioned, this is going to be a shorter episode, so unfortunately we're not going to have any time lapses, because a lot of the stuff that I've been doing this week was like grindy behind the scenes. I placed slime down so that Vault could finish these floors, and then I broke the slime all apart so that we could recollect a bunch of it, and I did a bunch of like cleanup projects back at spawn, so it wasn't really good show and tell stuff, and it was all stuff, you know, I had 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, doing little bits at a time. And so I would truly like to get back into the grind, but I do have a regular full-time job that helps us pay the bills, so that kind of takes precedence. I am sure most of y'all out there can relate to not having enough time in the day for the stuff that you enjoy. Not just work, but just like, you know, stuff takes your time, responsibilities and stuff, man, being an adult. So let me stop jabbering here right now and get back to work. Zelda, get back to work. Bye! Guess what, guys? I think I have it figured out. I'm pretty certain that I got the little weird squiggles, the turns in the aqueducts figured out. Let me show you what we've got going. Check this out! Directly beneath me, remember where that weird, like, janky line was? Just a few short moments ago for you guys. What is now several hours later for me? We have most of the aqueduct all built up in its final glorious curved fashion. I'm so excited, and I actually got really carried away, and I started introducing, ooh, I'm gonna die. I started introducing some of the details that we hadn't done in the main part yet, because I wanted to start to see how it was going to come together. So the aqueduct is actually going to have shade. It's going to be covered with this awesome combination of these azalea, the flowering azalea, and the glowberries. And of course you have to have string. For now, I just found out while I was doing this that there's been an update to these where you're going to be able to shear them at the level you want to keep them, and it'll force stop them. So that's going to be really cool, because this is going to break. I know that string is going to break, and then this is just going to grow all the way down to when we fill the water up. But basically, so they're going to have this nice little shade covering that's going to break occasionally, just to give us some variety of like sight lines, so it's not just all canopy. But this, again, remember, filled with water. This is gonna be the aqueduct. It's imaginary water. Can't you guys see the water? Can't you see the water? And then it's gonna like cascade over the edges and stuff. So what we're gonna do is we've got to obviously finish, I didn't even start plotting over there, but we've got to, Vault's going to be able to finish his side now that I figured out the curves. I keep wanting to call them squiggles. But now that I figured out these curved walkways, I think we're off to the races, so to say. So I am going to, one more time, quick flyby, and just again point out that this whole site is empty and nothing is planned and nobody can build until Zelda gets the plan made. So I've got to put my nose to the grindstone and get this done. So I will bring you back one last time when I have the final paths marked out and how we're going to connect everything so that I can get this video out and help explain this new area to both the server mates and all of you wonderful viewers. So thank you for putting up with me and the slowness that has been the planning of this island. We're halfway through the month and we're not even planned. Oh my god. Why does Zelda, why does anybody let Zelda be in charge of anything? Oh, hi. Welcome back. You've caught me at current build height, until the next update. Excited. But you've caught me up here just with my last pork chop and some colored wool, thinking about my decisions in life, pondering and thinking, and I might be a little bit overambitious with my ideas. I'm pretty sure I lost count somewhere in the 20s of the different builds that I have marked out here. And we're, like I mentioned, we're halfway through the month because Zelda is really far behind at planning this month. So let me just real quick walk you through each of these so that you can hopefully see the progress as the month starts to wind down. So a couple things. I figured that was my sneaky way to kind of mention what that pillar was behind me because it's completely out of context. There was no information given about that in the last cut. So I thought I would share that with you guys. But down here, what we'll see is the orange. We all know what that is by now. That is the aqueducts, and you'll see that there's not been any more progress made on this because I got on and I'm like, dude, I gotta plan out what is hopefully going to be the blue city. Otherwise, nobody's going to know what to do in order to help. Now, a couple of the ones that are just being added, the red we talked about before, that is for the builds. So all of the red markings are ideas for builds, kind of question mark, ideas for placements of builds more than anything. The one in the center actually is going to straddle this cross section of where the two aqueducts meet. And this actually is going to be a guaranteed build. This might be the only build that gets done over here, but I will contract somebody out. I will hire somebody to, I don't know, blackmail or something to get this one done. Also, I just noticed, yeah, this is the danger with working with this block, is if you place anything on top of it, it dies. I just noticed that. So before I get distracted and go and get one block to fix that right now, which is not our mission. Our mission is to clearly explain what's going on. Yellow. Yellow, I had a couple down, but I don't think I've talked about it. And you'll notice that they are smaller than most of the red areas, and they are kind of all scattered about. What are these? What is yellow? Yellow is like kind of like, almost think of it as like city flower pots. So the city has like green areas reserved along the streets and stuff, and just like, you know, there could be a pretty set of trees or flowers or, you know, some kind of water feature maybe. It would be funny because we're gonna flood this eventually if we put in water features. I don't know, like the reason I'm thinking of that is like one of those big waterfall walls. And I'm gonna try to do this with my mouse like that. Like that's gonna help anything. But basically it's gonna be any kind of features that we want to do, just like pretty stuff like terraforming and stuff. And then the brown, pooey color, but it fit the scheme. These are how I imagine the walkways connecting to the builds. So as we see down here, this is a walkway. And so what we're going to do is have it turn off in certain places and go to to the builds so that people can actually get to their homes, and, you know, walk around the city. So we're going to have, in addition to, ooh, that was a great landing. Great landing. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Landed on it first try. But basically, so where the walkways are, let's put that down. Where the walkways are is going to make the city feel a lot more connected, because they're not going to use boats to get everywhere. They'll still be having to walk most places. And so now it's just a matter of convincing my friends on the server who wants to build. Who's gonna come and claim spots and help me fill this area up. Please, please, please help. Zelda needs help. But me and my lone pork chop are going to go down and help vault, and we're going to tackle these aqueducts. Get those in place so that everybody can see what they have to connect to, and like how the world's growing, how the world's evolving. So I'm gonna leave you off there with the moon slowly creeping up behind me, as we are halfway. We're halfway. We're over halfway. This is totally where we wanted to be halfway through the month. Totally. Yeah.